that doesn't fall directly in line with the left and the nouveau ordre will come directly under attack. You can take that to the bank, America. You know, we talk on this program an awful lot about a whole bunch of different things. And we get a lot of heat because we are ahead of the curve. I don't need to tell you the long list of things that we have been right on. And nobody ever prints that. They just call us crazy and then move on. The track record on predicting things to come, from the warning I made on air here in New York City in 1999 that there would be blood and bodies in the streets of New York City caused by Osama bin Laden, to the economic downturn while the Dow was still at 14,000, everybody saying buy, buy, buy. That led to the TARP and the demise of GM and the failure of government bailouts, to this year when I warned in January that the glorious Arab Spring wasn't so glorious. Remember when I said this timeline back here, this we've kept on the wall because everyone said I was out of my mind. Really? Am I? The track record is clear. Now, why am I telling you this? Because I see something coming and it is not good and you have to be prepared. You saw things, if you watch this program every night, you saw things coming long before others did. And people are now just starting to come around. But it's not about you or me or our track record. It is about being prepared. I happen to believe the things that I say. I think you believe the things that you say as well. This isn't we don't watch politics. I don't watch politics as sport. I could care less about politics. I hate politics. I hate it. Why are we burning up so much time? And I'm not Kreskin, and I don't have a magic 8-ball. I just take people on the left at their word. They tell us what they're going to do, and the next phase isn't good. Because of that, I am telling you that it is time. I hope you have the lifeboats filled for your families and ready to go. It's not going to be easy to convince anyone, you know, especially in first class or the branding room, the grandest ship in the world. It could never sink. Yeah, really? The ship called America can sink if you stand around and deny reality. Some will come around eventually. Some will come around when it's way too late. You just have to make sure you've got a lifeboat for somebody else. Stay ahead of the curve. What I am talking to you about with Israel is ahead of the curve, and I know that. It is not popular. I've had every single advisor on planet Earth telling me not to do this event, not to talk about it. I can't get anybody involved. Nobody will understand it. Everyone will be angry about it. Whatever. What's new? If you stay ahead of the curve, you're going to be mocked and maybe even attacked. That video could be you being yelled at, not John Hagee, and told your tithe is killing babies. That's why it's critical to prepare mentally, to be the strongest person you can be. Know what you believe. Get the crap out of your life, and most importantly, have the courage to stand. Like these brave men and women did in the 1950s. I love this picture of him, because I look at the faces of everybody involved and you can see the fear in their eyes. They stood anyway because they knew they were right. You are going to see the types of protests that were happening at John Hagee's church, but we must become these people and stand locked in arms and without real fear, because we have each other. And with love in our hearts, there will be attempts to isolate more and more often. So when the guy from Hamas, or the local community organizer in your area, stands up and says something like this,
عدد محدود من السنين سيدرك الجميع من الصهاينة والمستوطنين أن مجيئه إلى فلسطين كان للمذبحة الكبرى التي يريد الله بها أن يريح البشرية من شره.
You don't dismiss the warning signs. You wake up anybody who has eyes to hear, or eyes to see, and ears to hear, and a mouth willing to speak. Wake them up. Stand together. I told you yesterday that I'm going to do an event in Israel calling Restoring Courage. It was interesting to read my mail and to see the press react yesterday. The press really wanted to be mad at me. They're not exactly sure how to be mad at me yet. They'll come up with something sooner or later. They've got a storyline, don't worry. But I saw a couple of reports that said, Beck has nothing to teach Israel about courage. Are you that stupid? Gee, you think? It was a country surrounded by people who have been trying to wipe them off the earth since their birth? Really, I want to teach them about courage. This event is not about restoring their courage. It's about restoring our courage. We have to stop making the news about other people, other lands, other parties, other people's problems. What role do we play? It is our personal courage that needs restoration. When someone stands up and says something you agree with at the PTA meeting, do you say something? If somebody's getting shouted down or bullied, don't sit there silently, stand with them. And don't wait until after the meeting to walk up to them and say, hey, thanks, I'm with you. Newsflash, you lack courage if you're whispering. It has been hammered home to us over and over again. We've been trained to not make waves, don't offend, and don't say anything politically incorrect for fear of an uncomfortable disagreement. Meanwhile, we are dismissing people who say they want to kill an entire race of people. When you deny that, that is fertile ground to be taken advantage of, and the rebels, the rebellion, the revolutionaries, they will take advantage. You must prepare your friends and don't sit by silently. Always remember that Americans debate, Americans think, Americans love, Americans are compassionate, and Americans never sit it out. Israel doesn't need a lesson in courage. We do. This August, this journey to Israel for me is personal. It's not about celebrity or teaching anybody a lesson or sending a message to any earthly power. It is about sending a message to our Maker and letting Him hear our message as individuals. That this time, I will stand and I will be counted. I will not cower as people have in the past. I will not stand by and watch a whole race of people called vermin. Because I've read history. I know how it ended last time, and I know how it started. First, they came for the